Hi fellow modelers, good afternoon, I'm Val from N-Team Squad Lab. Welcome to my new YouTube channel dedicated to scale modeling. I think it was important to speak a little bit about myself and about this channel before posting new project. I'm a Belgian scale modeler since I'm a child. I built my first model when I was 7, but I'm now living in Portugal, where I'm a videographer and photographer with a specialty in the wedding business. I'm a former military. I work as a tank commander during 8 years in Belgium within the Belgian army. Then I realized my dream to become an helicopter pilot, and I work about 20 years more as an helicopter pilot. I started in the Belgian Army Light Aviation on Alouette 2. I flew afterwards the Agusta 109. I became a flight instructor on this aircraft, and then I turned on NH90 TTH Cayman helicopter where I was also a flight instructor. I stopped my military career 4 years ago in Belgium, and then I decided to move to Portugal to enjoy a little bit more sun and to live a little bit closer of the ocean. I have a little bit more time now to build scale models, and that's also why I'd like to share this outstanding hobby with other people. I think these 30 years of military career also helped me to get a wider vision on how these pieces of equipment are used in the military, how they are maintained in operation, how they are used on a tactical point of view. And this is very useful for a scale modeler, specifically when you build this kind of pieces. I hope you like the content of this YouTube channel. Do not hesitate to interfere with me and to post your reaction, your question. I think the interaction in this hobby is very important, not only to learn new things, but also to exchange ideas. And that's also why I love this hobby. I was part of a club in Belgium when I was in Belgium. Greetings to my Belgian scale modelers friends from Ame Model Club. And I'm now also part of a new club here in Portugal, in the area. Also greetings to my friend from the CMRL. Within this hobby, it's very important to meet new friends and to speak with them. It's a good way to improve your skills, and it's also a good way to improve your social life and to meet new friends. I hope you like the content of this channel. I will try to share with you my experiences, the good ones, but as well the bad ones. You know, scale modeling, it's a bit like a Kinder egg. From time to time you try new techniques, new products, and it does not really turn out what you have expected. For example, this nice Corsair behind me is the result of a lot of frustration. For the little story, I was about to finish it. The painting job was completed, and I was about to set the stencils when something happened on the bad way, and I have to restart from zero with the painting. I had to get all the paint out of the plane and to restart the painting completely. It was a dirty process, but it's part of scale modeling. From time to time you have projects that are more difficult than what you plan initially. What I love in scale modeling is the challenge. You know, you can always challenge yourself, learn new techniques, meet new friends, but that's also this link with the past. I like to learn about pieces of equipment that have a history behind them. Perhaps because I was also a military, but when I build a model, it's not to do the perfect match with the same piece of equipment in the past. That's also to tell a story. For me, it's not so important, you know, if this radio cable is not on the left side and if this color is not perfect. I think there is a huge space for creativity with scale modeling. And what I like more is tell a story, because all these pieces of equipment tell story for sure. War is terrific, obviously, but war is also human stories, and that's what I like to tell within my models. So what I'd like to do in the future on this channel is to start projects from start to finish, and each time a new project with a new challenge, putting the limits each time further away. I'd like also to share my own experience, my own techniques with people who need to learn. I think there are a lot of beginners who are a little bit confused about all these products, you know, photo etched resin parts, glues. You have so many products now on the market that it might be scary or confused for beginners. So I like to come back from the very beginning, how to cut a plastic part, how to assemble parts together. So these easy stuffs, and then progressively moving one step ahead and continuing to improve the skills to build a complex model. What I hope as well is to be able to convince young people to start scale modeling, you know, and spend a little bit less time on their computers and smartphones. I think scale modeling also needs to be, you know, promoted. That's a wonderful hobby, and I hope that I will do a good promotion of this hobby to motivate people to join the community and to make this community grow in the future. It's very important to my eyes. I can't tell you yet what my first project is for this channel, but I can assure you it's a big project. It's a huge challenge, at least for me. I put the level not here, but I think here. I'm not even sure I will make it. What I'm sure about is that I have the support of my friends from the Scale Modeling Club of Leiria here in Portugal. I'd like to thank Luis Aliu. Many thanks, Luis, for your support for this project. You know what I'm talking about. I hope I'll be able to start as from next week on this project. I'm still waiting some parts from different shops. I think a good way to learn and to improve your skill rapidly with this hobby is just to practice a lot. The more you will practice, the more you will learn, and the quicker will your skills improve. A good way to improve your skill as well is to read books, magazines. You know, you have tons of magazines and books edited for scale modeling, done by great modelers, and it's a good way to improve your skills. Obviously, nowadays YouTube is more and more present and offers more and more content. So I think YouTube is also a good way to learn things and to experiment new techniques. That's also the way I improve my own skills, is by looking and by reading other modelers' experiences. I'm the kind of modelers who like historical reality for sure. I like to be close to historical reality because it's important. But on the other hand, I'm a videographer too, and you know, it's like a movie director. If you want to leave a little bit of space to creativity, and if you want to make your model attractive to people's eyes, you have to emphasize the dramatic effect, and you have to use effects on your advantage. Just in the case of a model, just to make it more attractive and to make it more realistic. If not, it will just appear like if it was a toy, a plastic toy, and that's not the aim, of course. The weathering effect is important in scale modeling, at least for me. I love weathering my models a lot. That's an important part for me, to give life to my models. Well, you know a little bit more about me now and about this channel. Hope to see you next time in my future video creation. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video to help me promoting this wonderful hobby. Thanks a lot. Ciao, ciao.